Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of
When we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that.
On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'll be adding another fritter recipe to my playlist of fritters. This one is going to be a sweet and savory fritters. It is going to be red plantain and saltfish fritters, and you did hear right. Okay, so now I have two medium overly ripe plantains here. I've smashed them to a certain mention, but I'm gonna put it in my food processor, you know. So you could probably cut yours thin, slice it thin, but what I did, I peeled them and I started mashing them until they came to this. So I'm gonna be putting them in my food processor now and let it come smooth. If you have a bigger food processor, you could really do everything in there. This is not a really big one, so I won't be doing everything in there. So the whole thing, the whole idea of getting it into the processor is to get the plantain come out as smooth as possible. Now, I am going to be using a little yellow almond. Remember I told you sweet and savory? And I'm going to use it too as a little liquid. It's good as it is, but I'm going to put like about half of a teaspoon of that yellow almond onto it. So I'm gonna put the lowest, and then because you want it the finest, so this is the finest, and I'm gonna do it on high or maybe half a minute. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, so you want it looking like that. We're gonna get this in there and return, family. So you saw that my container adding some saltfish. Let this saltfish be not flaked but minced saltfish. So you pre-soak your saltfish as you would do. I don't boil my saltfish for my fritters. If you want to boil it, you can do that, but I'm not doing this. I don't boil my saltfish for any fritter recipe, and I think if you have been following me for a long time, you have known that. So I normally just soak my saltfish, soak it in some lime or lemon juice. It helps to take the salt out on a fast basis, you know. So you clean, remove most or all of your bones if you can, and then you mince your saltfish. So you want to have your saltfish minced, not flaked this time. Now to this, you're going to be adding 2 beaten eggs. Beat them until they are light and frothy. You're going to be putting like about half of a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. If you want to measure, you measure, or even less. Maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And of course, you're going to need your salt to put these flavors together. Salt the amount you do you. Gonna give it a little beat. Now you're gonna add in small portions about 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, just in small portions, as if you're doing a cake. And you don't have to cut and fold, it's not a cake. You just have to slightly give it a little slap in. Yeah. We got a drop, so it seems as if we're gonna not use any more flour. We're gonna continue beating out. The next clip, you'll see me have my skillet all heated, and we're gonna drop these fritters as we want. Remember to taste for your sweet and savory flavor. Oil is being preheated. Dad asked me one question off camera. The saltfish should be enough. No, it's not enough because we pre-soaked it and took out some of the salt. So whilst putting this batter together, more than likely you're going to be needing a little extra salt to put it together, unless you did use more saltfish. But I tested my flavor and it did want a little extra salt, and I put it. Sweet and savory, that's what I have here, right to where I like it. My oil is over here and I'm going to be dropping it in small amounts. And if you notice, I'm gonna, as I drop it, I'm gonna like flatten it, right? You don't want it frying at any higher pace. Did I say that I did not add sugar? No, I don't think there is any need for sugar because these plantains are so ripe. They are so ripe, family. This is how we are going to drop them. We are going to finish doing this and return. Okay, family, we did turn and never come back to you. So this is what they look like. Almost like ripe banana fritters, but definitely a different flavor, because plantain has a different flavor actually too from ripe bananas. So you want to drain them, and I would say 2.5 to 3 minutes on each side to get them this color. Remember, if you add sugar, you are gonna have to know how to deal with it, because you're gonna have to turn it before the 2.5 to 3 minutes, because the sugar will let them start burning. But I don't think, family, there is any need to add sugar because the plantain is so sweet. So this is our first batch, and let them drain properly. I'll be going in with my next batch, and look at that, look at the oil. You see, you don't have any burning, you don't have any like really crummy thing. That's how you do it. So I drop it like this, timely, family, timely, and then I flatten will help it to cook thoroughly through. When you have it umped, as I tell you with any fritters, because you have the flour in there, it's gonna come out not properly cooked to the middle. So that's what you do, you flatten it. And remember, you will never get a crunch on these due to the mixture, okay? That sugary thing in there will not let you get a crunch. So remember, most importantly, avoid putting sugar in the mixture. Fry at a very low, not really fully low, but at a medium pace. So we are going to get this set in, and then when they are ready, we'll return and we'll show you our finished batches all together. Sweet and savory saltfish and ripe plantain fritters, just for you, holiday season. Now this is our finished saltfish and ripe plantain fritters. I want to show you one. I want to open one and to let you see. You want to have your fritters properly cooked. When you tear, you don't want to see the saltfish. That is what you're seeing, the flakes of the saltfish. You don't want to see any like some raw or uncooked mixture coming through right there. They are really hot. You got to know how to cool them down. Another thing too, when you are making your second batch, monitor your flame. Normally the oil gets more heated, and because of the sweetness of the plantain, or with any other frying in batches, as soon as the oil gets extra heated, you're putting in extra batches, you have got to monitor the flame, turn it down a teeny bit, and just go ahead and do your thing. Now I'm gonna ask Dad. Dad is behind the camera. Dad, can you say hi? I'm gonna let you taste, and then you can tell them what you think. The saltfish, remember, do not go too much with the saltfish. Don't let it be too salty. Okay? Mine could be a little bit fresher, but the saltfish has its own thing in there. It's not gonna flavor the whole batter. It is gonna hold its own there. So put a little salt, but monitor the saltfish itself, not too salty. The sweetness part It's there. It's good.
Yeah, man,
Dad,
it is good. It is
that's your
good.
take.
Yeah, it is good.
What do you
It's
taste there?
Taste every little thing in it.
Like?
The saltfish, a little sweetness from the plantain, and cinnamon. Every little
Yes,
thing,
yes.
you know.
Your taste good.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, from my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach, it is saltfish and the ripe plantain fritters done just for you. The measurements and everything, they will be on my website. My recipes are, I'm at the point now where I am adding my recipes, so that will be there for you to get the proportion. You know, most people want, and in stuff like these, you really need proportion. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you some of this dish. You could add a few raisins, not too sweet. You could use select like those golden raisins just to add a gig. If you're a person that loves ripe plantain or sweet plantains, give it a go and let me know.